Evil traits of Scorpio Zodiac sign. While any sign has the propensity to be evil, each sign has its own particular evil that manifests through the sign's undesirable characteristics. There are different degrees of evil, from pettiness to betrayal and psychopathic tendencies. Let's take a look at some undesirable characteristics of the sign Scorpio to see how their particular form of evil manifests. Number 1. Scorpios and serial killers. Fun fact, many serial killers are either Scorpio or Sagittarius. Ted Bundy, Kristen Gilbert, or the Angel of Death, Belle Gunness, the Black Widow, and Charles Manson were all born in November. It's been discovered that there's a higher proportion of serial killers born in November than any other month. Scorpio is the time when things get dark. Winter's slowly approaching and daylight hours decrease, unless you live by the equator. It's this approaching darkness that embodies the essence of Scorpio, and with that, we have our second evil trait. Number 2. Darkness. Scorpio is intense and deep. They're mysterious and magnetic. They have an appreciation of the darker things in life, which sometimes leads to obsession. Scorpio is the sign of death and transformation, and as such, some find themselves working as undertakers, morticians, and other occupations that deal with the dead. This trait becomes evil when mixed with Scorpio's tendency towards obsession. They can become fixated on personal gratification, sexual pleasure, hate, occult practices, or anything else that has a dark nature to the point of acting out those obsessions. Number 3. Antisocial. Scorpios like to have their own den. When they aren't out and about, they like to hide away and be alone from others. Some Scorpios take being introverted to another level, where they may develop social ineptitude, especially if they have an obsessive nature. Antisocial behavior is a key signifier in most criminals, and Scorpio's tendency to obsess can contribute to antisocial behaviors. Antisocial behavior is common among bullies at the school age, but can turn into destruction of property, stalking, and even violent crime. The common theme is that the person who is antisocial has not had or learned the nature of human connection. They're often removed from genuine connections, which is why some resort to rape, torture, and murder. It should be said that these are extreme forms of antisocial behavior, which only apply to a small number of people. The point is, however, that Scorpios are generally more prone to this kind of behavior. Number 4. Obsessiveness. As I pointed out in the previous traits, Scorpios can be obsessive. This trait comes from their innate need to get to the bottom of things. Used righteously, this trait makes for good detectives, doctors, and any other position that needs thorough investigation of fine details. Used for evil, these traits make for professional criminals and serial killers. Obsessive tendencies can take on many variations. Whether it's stalking, plotting, or conniving, Scorpios have the upper hand with their analytical brain. They won't miss a single detail and will remember them easily. They can plan out a course of action with ease, which is typically what serial killers do when seeking out their next victim. The idea hatches, a victim's patterns and daily routine is learned, an opportune moment to strike is decided, the location for the crime is predetermined, and the evidence is typically well hidden. An overly obsessive person accounts for these details. Think Dexter Morgan from the show Dexter, and you'll understand the level of obsessiveness that a Scorpio can have. Number 5. Violent by nature. Scorpios will sometimes use others to achieve their own ends. There's a saying that comes from the story of the frog and scorpion. You can trust a scorpion until you can't. In the story, a scorpion wants to get across a body of water and asks a frog to help. The frog is hesitant because he doesn't want to be stung. The scorpion tells the frog that stinging him would be against his own interests because, if he did, they'd both drown. The frog proceeds to carry the scorpion across the water, and the scorpion stings him, drowning both of them. The scorpion not only lied to the frog, but couldn't help but sting because it's in his nature to sting. It may take a lot to get a Scorpio mad, but if you do, watch out for the deadly stinger. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.